scared,
alone,
confused,
depressed,
suicidal,
angry,
exhausted,
vulnerable,
weak,
disconnected,
down,
defeated,
dark,
grieving,
high anxiety,
desperate,
trapped,
overwhelmed,
alone,
different.
hopeless. There are times in all of our lives where we're down, we feel like we're at rock bottom, and we need others to walk tall for us so that we can walk tall again for ourselves.
On July 4th, 2022, I served as the co-chair of the Highland Park, Illinois Independence Day Parade when a killer opened fire at 10:14 a.m., taking 7 innocent lives, physically wounding 48 more, and mentally harming countless amounts of people, including myself. In the immediate minutes after the shots were fired, the horror I saw on people's faces and heard in their voices, and the trauma I was also experiencing will be something I never forget. For approximately 7 hours after the shots, I went on to complete unimaginable tasks, ensuring the safety of others. Due to those efforts, I now experience significant negative emotions and triggers of which one day I hope to recover from.
On October 1st, 2017, I attended a country concert in Las Vegas, Nevada. My wife and 16 other what we call family and friends were in attendance. We were all together, and we were having an amazing time listening to one of my favorite country artists sing. When we started to get shot down on from a shooter on the 32nd floor in a casino across the street. Imagine being there. You're having a blast, listening to music, and then all you're hearing is screams and machine gun fire. That's what it was like. You're literally running for your life, not knowing if that boot is going to touch the ground. But we got out, and I made the decision to run back in. After 8 hours of going back and forth under gunfire, under extreme adversity, hearing scream, I lost 3 women in my arms that night. I tried to carry out as many as I could. After that 8 hours, I was able to reconnect with my wife. It was the worst night of my life.
For me, there were plenty. One that comes to mind and that I'm comfortable sharing now is a time when I was probably in my early 20s and I became anorexic. I never had a problem with weight, and I went through something particularly challenging at a time in my life that I wasn't emotionally prepared for, and I never really realized it. I found myself losing weight, just not interested in eating anymore. And then I weighed myself on a daily basis and started to see that the pounds were just coming off. And that empowered me in a very strange way. I had control over something, I guess, when emotionally I felt as if I was out of control. And then the effects of society sort of enhanced the situation, and I started getting a lot of compliments for being excessively thin. Now, when I say excessively thin, I mean unhealthy. I started out about 120 pounds, and I'm about 5'5.5". There was a point in time where I got down to 88 pounds.
And while I hope one day to recover from those negative impacts of my experience on July 4th, 2022, I absolutely know it's possible. You see, I know it's possible because just 3 days after that experience, I received a text message from a perfect stranger by the name of Todd Blyleven. He took it upon himself to reach out to me, a perfect stranger, to inform me what he had experienced and how to help guide me through what I was about to go through the next 72 hours, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, and now today, 9 months later. If not for the guidance and support of Todd and many others in my life, who knows where I'd be? I may have even committed suicide. But see, that's not the plan I have in place for myself, and that's not the plan in place many others have for me. They've chosen to be my support system, to be my team, to be my guiding light, to ensure that I recover from these impacts of an unimaginable experience. If not for the friendship and love of someone like Todd Blyleven, I may not be here. And with that, I want you to walk tall for yourself and for others.
It really wasn't until my friends at the time called an intervention, and they gathered at my house, included my family. That's when my best friend Lori, God rest her soul, said, "Vanetta, you're too skinny, something is wrong with you." I could have died. I mean, I was blacking out, I was fainting, I was malnourished, and it was a very bad time for me, and I just did not realize that I was shutting down. You know, I constantly devalue the way that I look because of that. I constantly, you know, question, you know, my overall worth. If I'm not that ideal weight, I believe that I would have had some medical challenges at that time in my life if people did not join together and walk tall for me, so that I could walk tall again for myself. And, you know, while two of my friends are not here anymore for me to thank, I certainly do. And my grandmother as well, as my parents are all deceased. But they saved me, and that's what this is about. So walk tall.
When we got home from Las Vegas and I got into my truck, I received a phone call from my dad's friend that said, "Hey, I'm a combat vet and I've seen what you've seen, and I've been where you've been, and I'm feeling what you're feeling right now." And he gave me an idea of what my next 72 hours was going to look like. He was there for me. He was there. And I had so many other friends that came out and cared about me, where I was emotionally. They knew what I had just seen, and they knew I was knocked down, but they helped me. They put their arms under my armpits and they lifted me off the ground, and they got me to stand up on my feet, and they made me keep my boots moving forward, and they walked tall for me. If it hadn't been for them, I wouldn't have known what I was going through. Here I was in a mass shooting. I had never experienced anything like that in my life. I lost lives in my arms, innocent people, but they walked with me and they helped me find therapy. They had me attend and go to EMDR therapy, where I was able to process things. And it took a long time, but I fought, just like I fought that night, to stay alive and to keep other people alive. It's not easy, but I knew I was not alone. And you're not alone. You're not alone in your fight. There are people that will walk with you and walk tall with you until you can walk tall again for yourself. Please don't give up. Walk tall with us. Let's be vulnerable. Let's show empathy. Let's help people when they need help. That's what walking tall is all about. It saved my life. It helped me. And now we're going to help you. Join the Walking Tall movement and help us help others survive and walk tall for themselves.